Alright, what's good YouTube? We're back again with another tutorial as always. With this one here, I've got like a ambient melodic type of tutorial for us. Basically showing you how I make my style of all my typical beats. We've got it laid out, structured and everything how I normally would, and we're just going to kind of go through the elements and the sounds of how we can how you can make beats like this. So if you haven't already, like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, well, let's go ahead and hop into this tutorial and get started. And let's see what we got put together. All right, so for our first melody, this is what we've got. So let's go ahead and go through that. Just kind of weird and kind of different sounding, not too dark, not too light or anything like that, somewhere in between. That's the first start off melody. Then we have got the background sound, and basically it's just the same thing as the main melody that I have in there, but I ended up shortening up the notes, as you can see, and that's what this sounds like here. The key to making these sounds, or these types of beats, are to make sure that your beats to make sure that your melodies have a little bit of variation in there. So like, you want to make them kind of complex sounding and make them sound pretty melodic, and then kind of make a slight change. So if you notice, in the first 8 or the first 4 bars and the next 4 bars are very similar, but it's just a slight difference. I just moved a couple of the notes. That's all it really takes, man, just to make it a little bit more ambient and kind of different sounding, so it's not as repetitive and consistently sounding the same throughout the melody and throughout the beat. It gives it a little bit of variation and change, because like I've said before, you always want to make your beats change like every 8 bars or so, right? So then we're going to hop down and go through the bells. This is what I got here for that. Got a little hiccup, so I think I need to update my computer. That's why it's doing that. So after the bells, we got some keys to throw in there, and like I've always said before, like, I like to do a call and response kind of deal. So if you look at the keys and you look at the bells before that, you can see that my bells are over in the 1st, the 3rd, the 4th, 5th, and then so on bars. And in between that, I've got my keys going in the 2nd, the 4th, which I think I did that wrong, said it in the previous one wrong, the 2nd, the 4th, the 6th, and the 8th bar, basically. So this is how I have my keys. And as you can hear, like I've said before, each one of these is a little bit different from the last one, but they're all similar enough to where they sound the same. So as you're progressing through the beat, it's continuously changing, even though it may be playing the same 8 loop bar at the same time. Within that 8 loop bar, it's the melodies themselves are changing. Like I always say, you want to make sure that your beats are sounding interesting throughout the entirety of the instrumental or of the beat. That way it keeps the listener entertained, and it gives the rapper kind of a vibe, something to kind of that they can catch, and keeps them entertained as they're rapping and freestyle on it, or writing to it, or whatever the case is, right? Then I throw in the lead in there, and here's my lead. I don't know why it's doing hiccups like that. All right, so after the lead, you've got your normal instruments, man. Oh, well, I'm sorry, that was a pluck. So that was a pluck that we just played. My bad, guys. I was looking at the wrong one. So now let's head on over to the lead, the last and final instrument. And this is what that lead sounds like. Then you got your instruments, just your regular old hi-hat. Nothing too crazy there. I added a different snare rather than a clap like I normally would. Just to kind of give it a different sound than what I normally would do. My snares that I always like to use. The breath, signature breath sound. You got your 808 pattern. I think I may might move these here. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so now let's go ahead and hop into song mode and take a listen to what this sounds like. And again, if you haven't already, like, comment, share, subscribe, man. Put this content out there, man. Help me out, so that way, the algorithm works towards my favor, and I can start doing this a lot more often, more frequently, and full time for you guys. That's ultimately what my goal is for the channel, and it's going to take some time, but I need you guys' help. And you guys have always been supportive of me over the last years, the last 10 or so plus years that I've been doing music. So let's go ahead and take a listen and see what this whole beat sounds like up until the bridge, and then
it's a melodic beat. Oh.
Alright guys, and that's all we got. This is how I make these ambient melodic type of beats. I don't really have a person in mind that I could hear on this one in particular. I just think it's just a hard, ambient melodic beat. That's probably more so what I'll start aiming for as far as my specific genre and style, and not necessarily pigeonhole myself into, doing type beats of different artists and that type of style, but just showing you guys how I make, my ambient melodic beats. These are my style of beats. This is what I like to hear and listen to. I think they sound super cool. And with creating your own style, it's hard to pinpoint artists that would sound good on these on your beats when you're actually creating your own style. The reason being is because it's your style. Nobody's hopped on them or anything like that. So it'd be cool to see who would actually hop on something like this and make it their style and start making songs with these types of beats. If you guys have an idea of who you might think would sound good on something like this, drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think, so that way I can start branching out and seeing if I can find artists that might want to hop on my weird ambient melodic beats. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you took something from it and you were able to learn a little something from it. We'll be back next week, guys. Follow me on all my social media. Milan Makes Beats. If I got it, you'll find me. If I don't, you won't. And that's really it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace. We'll be back next week.